In fact, if you've read the book by Richard Gallagher, Demonic Foes, he teaches
Yeah, great book.
psychiatry at Columbia University, one of the best psychiatric programs, I believe, most well respected. And so he's taught there all his life. He didn't really believe much in this demonic stuff going on, but began working with some people who were, I believe, mainly Catholics, who were saying we need to differentiate between a psychological issue and what if it really is some kind of spiritual force. But in he became a believer when he realized that sometimes these people were dealing with, and he was personally involved in counseling and exorcisms and whatever, they would know things about him that they couldn't have known, that nobody could have known. And so he said
Yeah.
something spiritual is going, and there were like 7 or 8 different characteristics. Some of them had superhuman strength, some knew things they couldn't have known otherwise. There were a lot of things like that. But what some of these psychiatrists or some of these psychologists who are counseling people going to drugs to have these experiences, they may very well be opening up their minds to a spiritual side of things. That may be something, maybe it's just hallucinations, but maybe they are breaking through. Maybe our brain is in a large account a limiter that narrows down what we're seeing so that we're not going crazy seeing everything at once, everything on the side of the road or whatever. We just see what we need to. And the brain keeps us from experiencing the other spiritual side. Now, the problem that they're not dealing with is they're assuming that everything on the other side is good.
Yes.
Where
Right.
biblically we're going to say there's good stuff over there, there's bad stuff over there, and you don't want to get on an Ouija board or go to a medium and try to make contact. So if you make contact with somebody that claims to be your deceased wife or deceased child, how do you know that that's real? And how do you know, or maybe that's an imitation? And that's one thing that Gallagher found, was that sometimes beings would appear on the other side because they had gone to a medium or whatever, and they would claim to be angels or claim to be a deceased relative, and then later they would reveal themselves for what they really were, which was something demonic. So there's great danger here, especially if you're trying to seek the experience, whether it be through deep meditation, psychedelic drugs, or going to a medium. And by the way, probably 20% at least of near death or deathbed experiences are distressing. They
Mm.
are experiencing something that's hellish, they call them, on the other side. And this has been well documented, although it was largely ignored in a lot of the early near death studies. Now they say, no, that's a characteristic, and often they're seeing demonic type beings, great panic, fear,
Hmm.
beings being tortured on the other side. This is a part of it that really can't be ignored. So
Yes.
so back to
Right.
the New
Right.
Age thing. Um,
Yes. Yes.
one Nancy Evans Bush says in her book about distressing experiences, she said, you know, if you think about it, 1975, when Moody started talking about near death experiences, New Age was really kind of at a big high at that point, you know, very prevalent. So, of course, some of these people, they're just people in academia that are studying this. Some of them were caught up in a New Age movement and would try to harmonize it with New Age thoughts. But at the same time, you had other people who were writing, like Dr. Rawlings, a cardiologist, very well respected cardiologist who used to work for the Pentagon on some of our, you know, future presidents and people
Hmm.
there, very well respected. He saw some hellish experiences that shook him up and got him on track with following the Lord. And he wrote several books, To Hell and Back, and others about these distressing experiences that he felt like were being ignored. Dr. Sabom, who I mentioned earlier, this shook him up spiritually, and he has been his whole life very dedicated to his conservative churches, active in these churches. because so there have been some good Christians writing on this and involved in some of the research and talking about it. But yes, there are others from other worldviews who are trying to, to harmonize it with their religious thoughts as well.
Yeah.
But that's just another reason that we need Christians on the forefront.